The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by SIDEBAR, its guests, callers, and advisors are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS Verizon Media Group. SIDEBAR, a 103.5 The Beat podcast, is a production of IlTV Studios and may not be reproduced or represented, in part or in its entirety, without the express written consent of Verizon Media Group. SIDEBAR is the intellectual property of Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2024. All rights reserved.
Welcome to SIDEBAR, 103 The Beat podcast, powered by IlTV. I'm Stephen Hanna. And today with me, at this point, I feel like people have seen you before. We have Chef Mark.
Yes, sir.
All right, and
Thank you.
There's a lot of videos of you going around doing different things with food and Bahamian food, and so that's what I want to talk with you today about, Bahamian food in general. You know, and where do you see it going? What is it doing? And so, I guess the first question is, I mean, in your estimation, like, what is Bahamian food? Like, what makes something to you truly Bahamian?
At least for me, of course, you have classic dishes that we know, like conch salad, which I've done a little twist on here and there, of course, and a lot of Bahamian fruits that you will see, you know, in your grandmother's backyard, however, like the canap, juju, guava, stuff like that. So dishes using those ingredients.
Right.
For me, is, of course, I will call Bahamian as well, aside from the classic that we know, like I said, the conch salad, chicken sauce, stuff like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, for you, is it a matter of... So in my head, in my thinking is that it's similar to culture, where there are things that we used to do, and that's more or less history, and that's historically Bahamian, but it's not necessarily actively Bahamian. That's not culturally Bahamian anymore. All right. Is food like that for you, where the line is this what we practice? Is this what we eat? Is this what we cook? Or is it, this is something that you'll find the best version of it in this area, even if it isn't practiced as widely as it used to be practiced? So that's the question. Like, what, like, is Bahamian food in Bahamians eat this? Or is Bahamian food in Bahamians are the only four people left on the planet who know how to cook it?
Well, it's a mix, because, of course, you have various dishes like chicken sauce. You have persons who have different interpretations.
Right.
Different parts of Americans do it some way, we do it another, and we look at them and be like, okay, well, what's that? That's not chicken sauce.
Right.
Even like the potato bread. You have the Jamaicans who do it. Of course, it's a different name for it,
Right.
but it's pretty much the same thing. Ours are a bit more on the dense, heavier side. And so, for me, the things we eat, of course, yeah, that would be considered, yeah, what we do, yeah, of course, as knowing that, hey, you could get the authentic version of it will be, you know, find to be the authentic version of it, which you could say is the best version compared to others, not knocking the other cultures, but, you know, with us, we put that extra love into it, which I'm sure they do, but...
Yeah, but it's different. I mean,
yeah,
listen,
it's different. So only, you know, you could only get it like that here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I traveled with the Bahamian culinary team to Florida and to Germany before, and I, like, when you say, yeah, they have it, but ours is the best. So the thought that comes to mind is macaroni and cheese. Technically an American dish.
Yes.
Right? Bahamians make macaroni and cheese. I think Bajans, macaroni pie is Bajan, right?
Yes, that's what they
And then St. Lucia makes it, Haiti makes it. In my estimation, like, it's Bahamian, then Haitian, then probably Bajan. Maybe I got a bad St. Lucian version of it.
Yes.
There's ain't close to that.
Yes. Wow.
There's ain't close to that. So I understand when you say the most authentic version of that. When you all right, so it's one thing to say, all right, like this is the best place to get this, right? But then you also have these dishes where some of the reasons why it exists is like a historical context, and when those reasons are removed, you don't have the same impetus to make it as before. Case in point, like something like peas and grits, right? If the grits that you have is the primary starch that you have, grits can find itself more and more into different variations of the food. As we become more and more modern, we could get rice every day. So now you see people saying, oh, peas and rice. But 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 100 years ago, rice wasn't as easily accessible, particularly in the family islands, for persons, right? As a Bahamian chef, do you find this like impacting what people are asking for or even their taste in food? Like, I mean, the accessibility to like products that we wouldn't have had like 100 years ago.
Okay. So you're saying, like, for example, peas and rice, because
right, or like even how everybody, there are people out who are like, okay, I want this type of rice. I only eat brown rice.
Or I don't eat long grain rice. I don't like parboiled rice.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And so for me, I would have seen, of course, just born yesterday. So 100 years ago, what they would have had, I wouldn't know. But I know for me too, even stuff like dry conch, that's something they use a lot in their cooking.
Right.
For the soup, you get a more in-depth flavor.
And they didn't have fridge.
Yeah, and so that was something that they used. Nowadays, very rarely, I guess maybe under the door, you might find, mother out there with some conch hanging.
Yeah.
And so stuff like that you don't see using very often.
Mm-hmm.
And even like, with the peas, just the peas and the rice, back then, mom used to be shucking the peas, this and that. Not that I was exposed to it, but of course, based on what I was saying.
You've seen it.
Yeah, and so of course I would think that you even got a better flavor. You're cooking your own peas with your salt beef, ham, this and that. And so even for now, I think, things have evolved, and with a bit more products like the peas already in the can, already cooked. Guava duff. Mm-hmm. You got the Grammy Hatcher peeling, taking the seeds out, straining, sieving, however. But yeah, now we just open the can. Now, even so, the flavor is not the same. Mm. You don't get a strong, potent flavor from the guava as you would had you gotten it from the backyard, peel it, and so forth. And even with that, because you're a person who asked me, you use real guavas. It's hard to find, and it's seasonal. Yeah. But of course, it's more convenient now to open up a can. It's quicker. That's how I save. But of course, there's certain stuff I do to the canned guavas too to kind of mimic that fresh guava.
Bring out the flavor.
And that's a tip I'll give here. I add a touch of lime juice to it because our native guavas are usually more on the tart side. Mm. The canned guavas, you mostly get more sweetness than the actual guava flavor. Yeah. And so the lime brings out the flavor and gives you more
that we're used to.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get into exactly how you infuse new ingredients with Bahamian food. So we're going to take a break. You're listening to Sidebar, 102 podcast, powered by IlTV. I'm Stephen Hanna. We'll be right back.
Need a new car for your business? Well, EV Motors and the Bahamas Development Bank have some news for you.
At the Bahamas Development Bank, we are committed to promoting Bahamian businesses and entrepreneurs. With our green lending program, businesses are able to access up to 100% financing to purchase electric vehicles for commercial and fleet use. We are so excited to partner with EV Motors for this initiative to encourage and empower business owners to drive green.
If you haven't visited our dealership on Tonic Williams Starling Highway as yet, we have a wide variety of brand new EVs from some of your favorite brands like Toyota, BYD, and Mercedes-Benz. As the official distributor of Kerry commercial vehicles, we offer a selection of high-performance commercial EVs. Currently, you can purchase the Kerry Cargo Van and the Kerry Elephant Truck, and soon flatbeds and box trucks for all your business needs.
To access up to 100% financing to purchase an EV for your business, you'll need to provide us with a few documents: the business plan or executive summary, business license, historical financials, relevant KYC documents, and the vehicle and insurance quote.
With an interest rate of 6.75% and a repayment period of up to 8 years, you don't want to miss this fantastic opportunity.
To apply, visit our website today at bahamasdevelopmentbank.com or give us a call at 702-5700.
7.5 years, but I walk in here all of a sudden, total stranger. I'm calling you Rick and Sheila like.
I win. At Island Lock, we take sports seriously. Get ready to experience the thrill of winning anytime and any place. Bet in real time and live the thrill of every play while watching your winnings stack up. It's your chance to score big with fast payouts and a world-class experience. Get in the game and bet the Bahamian way with Island Luck Sportsbook.
Welcome back to Sidebar 103 The Beat podcast, powered by IlTV. I'm Stephen Hanna. Today we're talking with Chef Mark about Bahamian food. Now, Chef Mark, I mean, there's a lot of thoughts running through my head because you keep on bringing up sauce, but we can get to that, all right? There is, in your videos, you do a lot of fusing, right? What is your hope? I mean, and that's one of those things that people always do. Like, they ask an artist, like, so what was your vision when you first did this? And it's like, I was just trying to paint, dog. But like, what was your, like, what is your hope when you fuse these foods? Are you trying to bring a new life to it? Are you trying to expose people to new flavors? What exactly are you going for?
Well, it's both, as you would have mentioned. The main thing is to, of course, bring more awareness to what we do every day and show the versatility of it. Whereas, of course, for instance, the Kong salad, I did at least the two applications with one, the cheesecake was the first, and then the second was with the Kong salad pizza. Of course, you wouldn't see that every day. And
I could see a Kong salad pizza.
You could see that.
Yeah. I mean, I think what people are getting held up on is the texture, the wetness, and not necessarily the flavor.
Actually the raw components that isn't cooked. Because I would have seen someone, presented the Kong salad pizza, but everything was cooked.
Right.
All of the toppings, the onions, bell peppers, tomatoes, Kong was cooked on the pizza. What I do a cheese pizza.
Right. And
I put the actual fresh Kong salad on the pizza. And of course, it's already marinated in the juices. And that could be something, some persons may want that extra lime, pepper sauce on the pizza. But yeah, for the most part, when presented, it wouldn't, give you a soggy crust. But of course, it's getting the flavor, and it's, refreshing and different at the same time. You get different textures, but yeah, it's a good fusion.
What do you, because that's the second time you mentioned like lime, right? I'm assuming because of where the Bahamas is, I'm thinking of the Bahamas as a colony, right? What we would have had available to us in terms of meat and food and stuff, that having certain things that for antimicrobial reasons Like, you don't want your meat go spoil. You're rubbing it down with lime and salt and stuff, right? And like even the idea of cleaning it is coming from this idea of meat can get you really sick. So you have to make sure, even the way we insist on everything has to be cooked, even if it come out of the can. And it's like when it goes in the can, there's a cooking process before you put it in the can. But because because it's ingrained in our culture, you live in Auckland, right? 100 years, like you want to say 100 years ago, right? You live in Auckland all those years ago, right? You're going to have situations where people got sick from eating bad meat because the meat was refrigerated. So they might put lime on it. They might have, everything is salted. You got salt beef, salt pork, everything is salt. You salt the fish, you dry the conch, everything is preserved in a certain way to prevent illness, more so than flavor, but that impacts the flavor. Is there a particular flavor that you would say is Bahamian based on what traditional Bahamian foods taste like?
Well, that's one. You know, we like our stuff extra lime, pepper, and, you know, pretty much well seasoned.
Right.
And so even our fish, gold pepper, lime. Conch salad, gold pepper, lime, salt, all of that good stuff. And so, yes, even corned beef, steamed corned beef, lime and pepper. Some persons don't put it, but for me, I put a touch of lime. And so that
when you cook it down.
And if you taste that, you'll be like, wow.
So you feel
so roughly lime is a key ingredient. We call it sour, stuff like that. You know, Bahamians, we have a unique name for certain items.
Well, that's a whole different thing, because now you also, because when you talk about sauce, our sauce is, I guess, is it it's not a consomme, but it's almost like a broth.
Yeah.
How clear it is, right? Stew is technically a gravy. Steam is
supposed to be a cooking technique.
But it's not steam. Our steam is
tomato-based
sauce. It's almost like a broil. Like, we use different terms for these different things, whatever. So like all of them, it's almost as though you have to be within the culture itself to fully understand what it is that you're doing, because these are various techniques, but they're named after what. And our soup, we have like apparently the thickest soup in the world. Like everybody else,
very rich.
Our soup barely got to be liquid.
10 meats. All the vegetables from the garden.
And somebody say, "Oh, I have some pea soup."
Yeah, you
gonna get ham, rib,
a whole meal,
conch. But all right, back to the fusion point. Has there ever been a point where you've combined some things together, and somebody in your family is like, "No, you're going too far, Mark. Them two things, though, you can't do that."
But, and I don't want to mention it again, the one thing was the conch salad cheesecake. And of course, there were other things.
Was it that they tried it and they didn't like it? Or
just the concept before they tried it. And then I had one who I usually have, they're a friend of mine who's, taste tester, who sometimes helped me, at least back in the day, with some of the unique flavor combinations. And they was like, "Chef, you're going too far with this one." I ain't gonna try that one. But they were here, they tried it, and they loved it. They came back for seconds. And so even, something like that, I didn't offer it for purchase. I did it as samples, because of course that was something that went viral.
Right.
I was like, okay, let me, because these people just think I just could make a regular cheesecake and put conch salad on top, kind of thinking it through.
So what was what was the primary flavor? I guess it's like conch salad, but with no salt or something.
No, it's there. That was actual the conch salad, tropical conch salad. Of course, I just chopped it a bit finer.
Right.
Just like how you go on the dock or wherever and get your conch salad. That's how it was made. The onions, everything was in there. And so, but what I did, it was a tropical conch salad cheesecake. So I took the fruits that we usually use, the pineapple and mango.
Right.
I used that as the base for the cheesecake flavor.
Okay.
I didn't add any additional sugar. So the cheesecake got its natural sweetness from the actual fruit.
Okay.
So it was more savory with a little hint of sweetness.
So it wasn't clashing.
No, it wasn't clashing. Of course, now, you have to say in your mind that, hey, I eating this Kong salad cheesecake.
Right.
This ain't nothing savory. This ain't nothing sweet. It's kind of in between. And then, of course, the crust, I use gold pepper as the main flavor in the crust.
Okay.
And so everything, I kind of
built up the
yeah.
flavors.
And then I served it in the glass. So it was a no-bake cheesecake. So I served it in the glass so you could get those juices from the Kong salad and everything. And so you got the acidity, you got sweet, slightly, sweet from the fruits in the Kong salad as well as the cheesecake. Yeah, the savoriness from the onions, bell peppers, and the Kong, the main ingredient, was there. And so, for instance, they came back and they was like, "How much you charge to make that?" I have that at my party, my event, and so they loved it
because it would be different.
Yes,
especially if you don't tell anybody what it is. And I say because like now it's more or less a vehicle to deliver something, and also it's a conversation starter.
Yes.
It's like, come on, try this. What you think about this? Or whatever. What are some of the other traditions that you pull from? Well, I mean, I'm assuming that you're wearing the full coat and you got the fancy one. So I'm assuming that you went to school, you went to culinary school or something.
Yes, I got my associate's degree. Well, it was COB at the time, now UB. And so that's pretty much as far as I went. And then I pretty much worked at the Life for Key Club. That's why I was able to kind of fine-tune the presentation side of things. And some of these same awkward combinations, you get that behind the gate and in a unique way. And so this is my way of even presenting to the general public, hey, this is how they eat in the back there as well. Unique combinations. And you just find pepperoni pizza. You find something with octopus on it, this and that. And so,
So when you are doing these fusions and these combinations, is there a particular cooking tradition or other culture that you find yourself pulling from or that you find works well with the Bahamian flavors?
Well, for me, of course, I would have used, even in recent times, what we call a hot potty. And that pretty much, we were making like 200 a day, and that wasn't even enough. It was a Saturday, persons were lined up at the door. Persons passing thought we had a mini fair going on.
Because the line was so long.
Like about at least 50 persons on the line waiting for these specialty parties. I was like, gee, I didn't know people was go crazy for parties. Because what we did a curry oxtail party.
Oh, well, then you can stop right there.
Jerry conch. We did a steam salmon party. We also did a dessert party that I didn't even see existed on the internet. So I took something that, you usually Jamaica is known for, and I did a guava cheesecake party. And each party was served with a dipping sauce. We even like sauce and stuff like that. So I think that's what the combination. Yes. And so even with that, I was able to now, blend our stuff that we'd use, the conch.
Right.
Like I said, I did a jerry conch.
Yeah.
What we call steam, which only, you can find the Bahamas like that, steam with a tomato-based sauce. I did a steamed salmon, and I used that to be the main flavor in, a dish. That's...
Let me tell you, the hardest thing, so you had you had a traditional, this is the oxtail that I saw online. Oh, no, that was the oxtail Philly cheese.
No, it was a pizza
that I saw.
Yeah, with the plantain and all of that.
Right.
And that already exists. That's going viral in the States.
Yeah. But I mean, the patty thing, it makes sense because in a weird way, so I think the patty space in the Bahamas is massively underserved because we have, I'm going to say, the pioneers of hot patties in the Bahamas, right? But they only brought over, bring over the basic chicken, beef,
and veggie,
right? And that's it, right? And that's fine, right? But then when you go to like a place like Jamaica, and you got Tasties and all the other, and Juicy and all these other different patty brands inside in Jamaica, they have chicken, beef, shrimp, they have soybean, they have every type.
Okay.
Right? And so I feel like we've been underserved. I've had a conch patty before from Platinum Bakery.
Platinum, yes.
But in terms of having a variety of different things. The only other time before Platinum Bakery, the most outlandish thing you'll hear is, and Freeport people will stop talking about it, the pepperoni patty.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
I saw a few
grandmama.
persons comment. They're like, yes, we should do a pepperoni one.
Because
So,
that's this Grammy people, they always the pepperoni patty, they believe it's superior to everything that we've ever eaten in the world. Fine. All right. But I definitely think that like that, you're taking something that is outside, like it came from outside the Bahamas, but we see it as a part of our culture now. Nobody's going to say, why are you eating that dime Bahamian? Like at this point, it's been folded into our culture. And so now for you to elevate that to another level, and then also, it's a hand pie. It actually makes the most sense that it would be a dessert. The fact that nobody...
Yes,
before you said that, it's like, no, that makes sense. Because even like the original hand pies that they'd eat in Europe, where they'd send the people down the cave to be mining coal and all this different stuff, they send them with that as this your lunch, a little pocket. On one side it'd be meat, and then on the other side is a little treat. The wife would like put some jam on the other side, so they have a dessert. Like this is built into the original tradition, but it took so long for us to come back full circle on that. But I mean that's an interesting concept. I wholeheartedly support it. Hopefully, that's something that you could like expand on, you know, to get that to a level where I would like to see Chef Mark's patties, you know, and it could be.
I didn't have about 1,000 different flavors. Just when it stopped. Because like I said, we were making like 200 a day, and it was.
And the thing is, like, when you're leaving Jamaica, when you pass customs, you can take a box of hot patties back with you because they know ain't nobody else got soybean patties and patties like this, and so people are taking frozen patties back with them from Jamaica. We could be on that level where we're taking Chef Mark's products internationally because it was so good.
Yes.
We are going to take a quick break.
Yes.
When we come back, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into more of the stuff that you're doing. You're listening and watching Sidebar, 103.B podcast, powered by IlTV. I'm Stephen Hanna. We'll be right back.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madeira Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
So you want a space, but not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at IlTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Welcome back to Sidebar, 103 podcast, powered by IlTV. I'm Stephen Hanna, here today with Chef Mark. Chef, you I mean, you didn't have to cook anything.
Yes.
But
now we do it, yeah, Heavenly Creations.
Right, so you brought out this is a lobster sauce.
Yes.
So, I mean, yes, what was the inspiration? Because, I don't think people often think of sauce and lobster in the same.
Well, something we were doing at the start of the year. This thing is a bit slow. Person's recovering after Christmas spending and all of that. So on Saturdays, I offered breakfast. And so, of course, at Heavenly Creations, outside the box, a whole different lane altogether. And so I was like, okay, we have chicken sauce, sheep tongue, pig feet, all of that good stuff. I was like, I never heard of lobster sauce. So I was like, okay, this is something I can, attempt. And it was quick and simple. Lobster takes no time to cook. Now, the only thing was, how do I get the flavor in the broth and all of that? And I was like, well, you get the lobster shells, you're taking it out of. And so, using my culinary experience and common sense, I was able to pull it off. And yeah, persons loved it when we did offer it. And we did other things like stew sheep tongue, although other persons will do it, but it may not be as common.
Right.
And of course, stew ribs, rib sauce, stuff like that.
Honestly, I think with stew, you could do so many things too.
Yes.
Once again, this is an unexplored lane because a lot of times people just like, well, we have stew fish, that's it, just end it there. But at the same time, if you fully appreciate the reason why you're starting something, then it makes sense. Because like the first step for stew fish is you need fried fish, and in a weird twist of, I guess, happenstance, right? Where the world today is like, oh, part of food conservation is when you have leftovers, figuring out a way to use them again. That's rich people realizing what everybody else didn't know a long time. If you have leftover rice, you don't throw it away, you make fried rice the next day. Yes. If you have leftover fried fish, you make stew fish. Traditional cultures have been repurposing. Even steamed chicken is fried chicken that you're making. But before I get cool, I'm going to taste it. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know. So first, seeing as though I'm not usually allowed to eat in the studio. So. Okay. Let's see what you did here. This is like, okay. So this is such simple flavors, but you hit the balance because I could taste the pepper in this, but it ain't overpowering. I could taste
our favorite star, the lime.
Right. I can taste that, but once again, it's not overpowering. It's like just the right amount of lime. I can taste the I forgot the seeds. Are these allspice seeds?
Yeah, allspice. Yes.
Right. Not everything is there, but it's not overpowering. It's like this is one of those things where it's like this tastes good, but also it's almost refreshing.
Yes.
Because everything's balanced with that. I'll be waiting for me to ask the question. So we gotta go. We gotta go. While we are discussing and talking about this, are there, as a chef, I imagine that there are times where you see people eating and preparing food, and has there ever been a moment where you're like, I understand that you like the food this way, but have you ever tried it this way? Are there times where you like want to tell people that they're doing something wrong or they're eating it wrong, and they're not fully experiencing the flavors of the food?
Well, I wouldn't usually. Well, there are times I like go to your neighborhood bakery, or I would try something from. I have quite a few chefs I mentor, and so if I try something from them, 9 or 10 times they're open to feedback, and so I'll try it.
I'm put it down
and let them know, hey, next time you do it, why not try it this way? Or why not try adding this and that? And so that'll be the only time I'll, give her advice or suggestion like that. But in terms of persons preparing their food items, I take it for what it is. Now, my aim here at the end of the day is to inspire other chefs, even persons who cook at home, to think outside of the box. Even just this Easter season, I did hot cross fritters. And I actually shared the recipe.
Yeah, man.
And so, it was a quick way, because I didn't do hot cross buns this year, because it was almost killed me last year. It was 600 dozen. So I said, take a break.
Right.
This is be like election every 5 years.
Yeah.
Chef back and do hot cross buns. And so, of course, it got a lot of attention because of the variety, because I did a red velvet hot cross bun, guava hot cross buns, and I stuffed them with like cream cheese. And so, so it's just to get persons to be more creative and not just stop at, although the saying is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But,
But you can build on it.
yes. And then I see one say, if it ain't broke, break it. So I think that's what I usually do. With, just trying to enhance and put a spin. Even simple as crab and dough. Last year, all I did was add guava to the dough. And the persons, they went crazy on the internet. They was like, lock him up.
No, because they're not used to...
I was like, it works. It's guava. It ain't like guava duff. Like I
Right.
put guava duff sauce on crab, It's just flavoring the dough.
So there are a lot of things that, because people identify, you have to forgive it, right?
Yes.
So particularly when it comes to Bahamian culture, there are a few things that we can emphatically say this is a representation, this is a physical form of what it is to be Bahamian, all right? Other cultures, like, let's use America. It's a big country, right? The hot dogs and hamburgers are American. So is apple pie. So is fireworks. So are fries. So are trucks. So there's a number of things where it's like, this is a representation physically of what it is to be American. If somebody were to say what it is to be Bahamian, 60% of the stuff is food. It's peas and rice conch. And the conch take up 20% of the plate. Because it's crack conch salad, scotch conch. It's like
chowder.
Right. So when you do that, because to them it's sacrosanct, it's like, this is an immovable object that you're not supposed to move. This is what it means to be Christian. This is what it means to be Bahamian. So when you start saying, well, let's glaze it with some guava, they're like, that's not what you're doing.
Yes.
We don't play drums in church. That's what it is essentially, right? And I don't know. You said you're young, so I don't want to put age on you. But I'm old enough to remember when people used to preach whole messages on women ain't supposed to be dancing in church.
Yeah. Now we got a whole team.
And now,
segment.
And then it took over, and everybody had a dance team, whatever.
Yes.
And it took a while, but there was a point in time where it's like, that's just not what we do. And then it takes a while for people to say, oh, I understand now what you're doing with it. With that said, are there also, well, no, let me ask you the question first. We'll circle back to the thought that's in my head.
Yes.
The question is, are there any traditional cooking methods or processes that you are worried about dying out? Because, and I'll give you an example. Go back to the peas and grits. There was a point in time where, similar to how everybody who cooks peas and rice differently, but everybody know how to cook peas and rice. Like, you can say, this person don't taste better, but you recognize what it is. But at the same time, peas and grits wasn't that difficult a thing to cook. Everybody when we knew how to cook peas and grits. But now it's like, oh no, that's a specialty item.
Yes.
You gotta
go to
fish. Yeah. Checklist gotta have it, or somebody or somebody who know how to cook have it. But other than that, it's getting lost, and it's because it's not the exact same process as peas and rice.
Well, I guess too, for the peas and grits, that's something you would do most likely home, because as grits sit. Of course, it solidifies, and so to have for a business establishment, they'll have to really cook that to order, and so as opposed to rice, that it could sit longer without compromising the texture and stuff like that too. So I think the grits, because it's simple enough, because it's even quicker than peas and rice.
Right, but that's the thing. I understand why.
Of course, it's our too to know right measurement of the water, the grits, how long to cook it.
Right.
So, you know, there are 1,000 ways you can mess up that peas and grits.
Yeah, I think it's more ways to mess up peas and grits than peas and rice.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But my thing is, right, I understand why a business wouldn't, but I'm talking about as individuals, where it's like, I don't know if the internet has a way for you to go on and say, okay, how do you make peas and grits? Like, you could go on the internet and find variations of peas and rice, because once again, legumes and rice is the most common. There's 1,000 variations of that online.
And all of that, yes.
Right? So everywhere the diaspora is, you'll find it. Everywhere around the world. It is the most,
rice,
right. It's the most common dish ever. It's just different variations of it.
Yes.
But peas and grits, my argument has been and will remain, is the most Bahamian dish in existence.
You have a point. Yes.
Because in the Caribbean, only us eat grits. And that's a result of North Carolina, when in the late 1700s, after the American War of Independence, when the Loyalists get kicked out, some of them come to the Bahamas. They tripled the black population. They couldn't grow nothing, so they slaves here and they go on about their business elsewhere. But they changed the language, they changed the diet, they changed a bunch of different things. That's why we have a similar language structure to the Gullah Geechee people in the islands of the Carolinas. Okay. Right? They bring grits with them. They impact us with this grits thing, and we keep that on. So everybody else doing peas and rice and peas and this and peas and that. But we were the only ones who, grits becomes a part of our culture. We know this thing here. And so now we ain't cooking grits as a porridge by itself. We cooking peas and grits. Anyway, What about the individuals? You know what I'm saying? Like, does it concern you for, like, people at home who might be cooking?
Yeah, I guess, too, it isn't something that really comes to mind every day. Like, hey, I going home to make some barbecue chicken and peas and grits.
Which it should be. It should be.
And so that's something we could bring more awareness to. Yeah. Even as chefs, you know, offer it more often as, you know, when we cater and stuff like that, where possible. Yeah. Like I say, the grits is a bit difficult to get a consistent texture from the first. The best time to get it is straight out of the pot.
Yeah.
when it's
hot.
Yeah, but once it sits, you got to add water or, you know, stuff like that. And so, you know, you compromise and, you know, it can affect the flavor and texture of the original, you know, time of done this. But even for me, things that I see that I don't see often, it's like something I did during the pandemic. Something that's just potato bread. It was hard to find a recipe online that made sense. And so I had to use my common sense as well, yes, to kind of get what I remember tasting back in the day. Now, I didn't have like a Grammy who I could have like, okay, this is how Grammy make this potato bread. I watch her. No. And so this product here, I don't know how it is to you.
So I'll tell you something, right? So I don't know if my producer told you. When I saw you making hot cross for this, I was like, what is this foolishness? And then I was like, why she put raisins in it? And he's like, some people don't like raisins. Like, yeah. So I put guava. Come on, man. Right? Because like I don't like guava. So this is the first time I've actually eaten potato bread.
Wow.
I said, you know what? Let me give it a chance. And, you know, I get it. I understand it now, right? I think it is one of those things where, and perhaps this will, I don't know if it can get me to eat guava duff. I don't like guava. It's not, I understand, I appreciate the technique of duff.
Yes.
I don't like guavas. But that's a whole different thing. But now I understand potato bread because I think this is the naming convention issue. You expected bread, you expected this, but it's none of those things. This is a whole different thing.
It's like a pudding,
right?
Type of.
And then it's also like this is a dessert. If you enter it with the dessert idea in mind, and like something in the family of coconut tart,
yes,
but not coconut tart.
So yeah, coconut and the spices.
It's like how broccoli and spinach related, but they in the same thing.
Yes, sir.
If you enter that, then it's enjoyable. So I appreciate you. I say, let me give it a chance. Because I say he know what he doing.
Wow, I appreciate that.
All right, but My producer's saying that she wants to take a break and then give me a chance to take some of this because she don't want me too much on camera.
Yes.
But we're going to come right back and close up. You are watching and listening to Sidebar 102.B podcast powered by IlTV. I'm Stephen Hanna. We'll be right back.
Need a new car for your business? Well, EV Motors and the Bahamas Development Bank have some news for you.
At the Bahamas Development Bank, we are committed to promoting Bahamian businesses and entrepreneurs. With our green lending program, businesses are able to access up to 100% financing to purchase electric vehicles for commercial and fleet use. We are so excited to partner with EV Motors for this initiative to encourage and empower business owners to drive green.
If you haven't visited our dealership on Tonic Williams Styling Highway as yet, we have a wide variety of brand new EVs from some of your favorite brands like Toyota, BYD, and Mercedes-Benz. As the official distributor of Kerry commercial vehicles, we offer a selection of high-performance commercial EVs. Currently, you can purchase the Kerry Cargo Van and the Kerry Elephant Truck, and soon, flatbeds and box trucks for all your business needs.
To access up to 100% financing to purchase an EV for your business, you will need to provide us with a few documents: the business plan or executive summary, business license, historical financials, relevant KYC documents, and the vehicle and insurance quote.
With an interest rate of 6.75% and a repayment period of up to 8 years, you don't want to miss this fantastic opportunity.
To apply, visit our website today at bahamasdevelopmentbank.com or give us a call at 702-5700.
Welcome back to Sidebar 102.B podcast powered by IlTV. I'm Stephen Hanna here with Chef Mark. Chef, I'm going to give you the final 2 minutes.
Wow.
Go ahead and let the audience know what is it that you want to leave them with.
Yes, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And yes, as you can see, Chef Mark, he's usually adventurous and playing around with, well, not really playing around, but I'll say that for now. With different flavors and, fusing different cuisines together with what we would know to be Bahamian. And so I want to encourage you and my fellow chefs as well. Let's think outside of the box. There are a lot of fruits. Like I said earlier, you have ganap, juju, all of these things you could utilize into your everyday preparation. So I didn't do everything with cheesecake. Sea grape, ganap, conch salad. And who knows what's to come. Crab and rice cheesecake. And that's right around the corner for Father's Day, unfortunately. And so, yes. So you can reach us here at 535-5063, 242-535-5063. And, you want to find out more information, you can follow us on Facebook at Heavenly Creations by Chef Mark Bakery. And, follow us for more exciting combinations. Like I said, crab season's around the corner. You get crab donuts, crab muffins, crab everything. And so and even to my fellow chefs, like I said, I come up with a lot of unique combinations. And I would like to see you guys try them as well. So you could reach out to me. I have quite a bit of chefs I usually mentor. And don't be afraid to ask questions and try different things. And my customers, y'all can trust Chef Mark by now. I'm still alive after trying. So thank you for tuning in again and have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you so much, Chef Mark. And thank you guys so much for tuning in as well. This has been Sidebar 102.B podcast powered by IlTV. I'm Stephen Hanna. True God still.
Years, but I walk in here all of a sudden, total stranger. I'm calling you Rick and Sheila.
I'm Ben. At Island Lock, we take sports seriously. Get ready to experience the thrill of winning anytime and any place. Bet in real time and live the thrill of every play. while watching your winnings stack up. It's your chance to score big with fast payouts and a world-class experience. Get in the game and bet the Bahamian way with Island Luck Sportsbook.
Well has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay eatin' well.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
So you want a space, but not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at IlTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?